Hello again, everyone, and thank you for all for being here today. My name is Vartuhi, and I am proud to represent PACE, Pacific Asian Consortium in Employment. You may already know PACE. I am just giving a brief introduction about PACE, who we are. So PACE is a nonprofit community development organization, and we celebrated our 50 years of service last year. PACE has many programs, including early childhood education, workforce development, energy efficiency, business development, and many more. I am from Business Department, Business Development Center. So at PACE Business Development Center, we provide free business counseling, training, access to capital, and procurement services to support our community in starting, growing, and sustaining their businesses. Through our Business Development Center also, and the partnerships we have, we want to create real economic opportunities for our clients. Today's workshop, Windows to Opportunities, or Windows of Opportunities, presented by team from JP Morgan Chase. It's Lucy and Tatiana. It's especially important because in a city like Los Angeles, opportunities are constantly evolving. So with major events coming to LA, Los Angeles, LA County, and LA City, such as 2026 FIFA World Cup or 2028 Summer Olympics, there will be significant growth in industries like construction, hospitality, food services, transportation, and entertainment. These events will bring millions of visitors, new contracts, and there will be increased demands in the goods and services. So I would, I want you to take advantage of this workshop, ask your questions, and connect with the people to help you to grow your business. So we are grateful for the Chase and Chase team, Lucy and Tatiana, for partnering with us and sharing their knowledge and expertise. Their support helps us empower our community with the tools needed to succeed. So as always, we will wrap up with a Q&A session. You can, through the session, you can send your questions in the Q&A box, and we'll try to address them through the session. If not, at the end, we will have the Q&A session to address all the questions. I just want to say thank you again for your time, for joining in today's session, and I hope you will all, find today's session valuable and inspiring. So Lucy will start from Chase, and let's get started. Thank you.
Thank you, Vartui, and thank you everybody for joining us today on a Friday afternoon. We were just talking about that. You guys could be starting your weekend, but instead you're here learning about windows of opportunity. So as Vartui said, windows of opportunity is something that is somewhat of a hot topic right now because we do have so many sports and entertainment events happening in the next couple of years. And if you're a small business, this is the time to take advantage of some of these contracts that are already being put in place, but then also understanding what type of opportunities are for you as a business owner. So we're going to get into that. Before we do, I want to introduce myself. Go ahead, Tatiana, next slide. So my name is Lucy Sesenya. I am a senior business consultant with Chase's Coaching for Impact program. What that means is Chase has a program where we work with business owners and we coach them. We help them in different areas of the business. Every business is different. Every business need is different. We help in operations. Maybe it's business development. Maybe it's understanding a little bit more about what does it look like to be a certified business. This is a program that Chase offers at no cost. And you do not have to bank with Chase. You just have to be a business owner that has been in business for 2 or more years and already making $100,000 and just needs a little bit of help with growing and scaling. So we partner with organizations like PACE, where we also come in and give workshops. We give information. Business owners, you guys are so busy running your day-to-day business, and there's so many things out there that you guys have to be on top of, but who's teaching the business side of the business? So we like to come in, partner with organizations, and give you guys this information. Go ahead, Tatiana. So today we're going to be talking about supplier diversity, windows of opportunity, and what that means for you. So as a diverse owned business, you have access to opportunities to help you expand your business reach, connect with new markets, and drive business growth. But what exactly does that look like? There's government contracting, and then there's corporate supplier contracts and programs. So I'm going to break both of those down for you. And go ahead, Tatiana. But as we go, we're going to find out what you need to do to prepare. So what we're covering today is, what is supplier diversity? What does that mean? How do you navigate government contracting? Is government contracting the only thing for you? How to access government supplier diversity programs, because there are a lot out there, and getting certified can sometimes be easy, but there are ones that are also very time consuming and a little bit more tedious, and you have to have all of your paperwork for the business in place. And there's a lot of programs out there like PACE that can help you one-on-one get everything in order to certify your business. And then we're going to talk about how to access corporate supplier diversity programs, and then working towards certification. And then the last part, we'll wrap it up with making the most of your certification. So on the next slide, what is supplier diversity? Well, let's get into that. So I have a chat box. I'm going to ask you guys questions. If you want to participate, I'm going to give you a couple of seconds to. But based on who's in the room today, I want to know, how familiar are you guys with supplier diversity? Do you guys know what it means to be certified as either a small business, a women-owned business, veteran? There's all kinds, so I can keep going. But I want to know kind of what we have in the room and where your range is. Again, I do have access to the chat, so if you have questions, please feel free to put them in there. If I happen to glance and look, I'll answer while I'm going through it. If not, we will do it at the end. I also want to ask you guys to stay till the very end, because there are going to be a couple of QR codes that we're going to have you guys do as a survey. That is how Tatiana and I are able to come and do these workshops with organizations and not charge the organization and not charge the business owners. So if you can, please do the surveys. They'll take a couple of seconds, and we would really appreciate that. All right, so the consensus here is somewhat, not at all, enough to be dangerous at the beginning of things. Okay, so we're somewhere in the middle. Okay, somewhat. All right, let's go. All right, supplier diversity. So supplier diversity is built on a very simple premise. What if there was a better way to help diverse business owners win competitive supplier contracts? So what does supplier diversity mean anyway? Government and local corporations are, and I will get into this a little bit more, but they put money aside to work with underprivileged, underserved business owners. So you have inclusive purchasing strategy that engages small and diverse businesses, including those owned by ethnic minorities, women, veterans, people with disabilities, and LGBTQ members. So you fit within these criteria, you can apply for a certification, and there is money put aside for your specific business. Next page. All right, so when did this come about? Well, it actually started after World War II, but it didn't really take off until the 1960s, when a handful of corporations, they began to work together. They were owned from people of different backgrounds, racial, ethnic groups, and they came together and they started putting money aside to work with these businesses. In 1972, the National Minority Purchasing Council was formed in Chicago, and it has been getting stronger. And even now, you guys are probably hearing a lot about it because we have Olympics coming in 2028. I am attending a lot of conferences where it talks about this, and there is so many moving parts that have been moving years ago in rebuilding our city, getting businesses prepared, because there's going to be a lot of visitors that are coming. Just because the Olympics are in LA, and I know there's going to be some, I think, in the IE, there's going to be watch parties in all kinds of cities. So there's so many opportunities. And so there's a lot of talk about supplier diversity right now. Next slide, Tatiana. So what do you need to do to get certified? Well, it starts in your preparation. So as you guys are thinking about getting certified, you have to make sure that your business is in order. So when you have a LLC, S Corp, C Corp, you have to make sure your paperwork is up to date, that you're in compliance. So you want to verify your business status. Then you want to develop a capability statement. I will probably get into that a little bit, but a capability statement, think of it like a resume that you hold in your hand at all times. It is a one sheet, and it has all of your specifications of the type of work that you do. It has your certifications. And basically what it's doing is every time you go networking, because the last bullet point right there says building relationships and getting contracts and making the right connections is going to help take your business to that next level. So you want to also make sure that your financials in order. When you apply for certifications or apply for a bid, there is going to be paperwork that comes with that. So you want to make sure that you guys are prepared for when the time comes and somebody says, hey, I have $1 million contract and your business fits it. And you go to apply for that, but none of this stuff is in order. You're going to miss out on that opportunity. And if this is somebody that you built a relationship with, you are going to ruin that relationship. Or maybe not ruin, but definitely hinder it. And you're going to have to do a lot to build that trust to get that opportunity again. So before you guys even consider, I want to go get a bid, I want to work with the government, I want to work with the city, you have to make sure that your business is prepared and ready to take on those responsibilities. Next slide, Tatiana. So how to navigate government contracting. And again, if anybody has any questions, please put it in the chat. So how much did the federal government commit to spending in 2024? Now, 2024 was 2 years ago. We are in 2026. And like I said, and as Vartui said, we have FIFA coming. I think their first game is Mexico on June 17th, right? That's right around the corner, guys. There's already things going on. So how much money do you think the government, if they did this amount in 2024, are committing to 2026? So take a guess. I want to see a couple of your guesses in the chat. Please have fun with me. It's Friday. We're here. Put some guesses in there. You think it's 100 million? You think it's a billion, 500 billion, or more than 500 billion? So I'm asking, how much do you think the government put aside and said, we commit to giving business owners that are disadvantaged, that are owned by women, that have veteran-owned businesses, how much do you think they put aside? Dan thinks 100 million. Okay, I'll go with that one guess. Let's see how much they actually did. $755 billion was committed by the US government to put into contracts in 2024. So if it's 755 billion back then, what do you think it is today? And it's going to continue to grow as we are doing changes to our cities, our states, and all the things in between. Go ahead, Tatiana. All right, so how familiar are you with the Small Business Administration? So the SBA, go ahead. The SBA offers free resources to help businesses succeed. They have counseling, they give you capital and contracting expertise. So as I mentioned before, just as PACE can give you a mentor or somebody to hold your hand when it comes to some of these contracting, or like us, when it comes to the Coaching for Impact, we can help you, give you resources and put you in contact with organizations and teach you about supplier diversity. Well, the SBA does the same thing. So it helps small businesses win and share federal contracting dollars each through several programs that they offer. Next, Tatiana. So what qualifies as a small business? There's going to be a couple of different things, but some of the bullet points is you have to meet a specific size, and it is based on your employee count and your annual receipts. And then you have to be organized as a for-profit business. So as I mentioned before, if you're running a business and you don't have your paperwork or your structure in place, that already puts you as a disadvantage. So think about if you've been running a business that's been making money year after year and you're ready to get contracting, but you're not an LLC or an S Corp, you're still operating as maybe a sole proprietor, you have to go back and think, why are you doing that? Why are you not protecting yourself? Because one, if you get a contract, that means you're working with big dollars. You're going to be working with a lot of people, especially if you're doing any of these events. So you want to protect you and your business. You should definitely talk to somebody about a legal structure. And then you have to operate primarily in the US. You have to be independently owned, so without any national dominance. And then next. All right, so how do we access government supplier diversity programs? So government contracting, each year the federal government commits a percentage. We already talked about that. We know it's 755 billion in 2024, but they do it year after year. They commit to contracts to small businesses. So as I mentioned, some of those certifications are small disadvantaged businesses, women-owned small business, federal contracting, veteran, and then they have hub zones, which is more about the location that you're in. I don't see a lot of those, but they do exist. And then also government contracting has the SBA Mentor Protege program. Go ahead. All right, so small disadvantaged businesses. So if you register with the SBA, which you have to do to be certified, you will be certified as a small business disadvantaged business, which can potentially open up you to many government contracts that they have. So each year, about $50 billion in federal contracts, or 10% of all the federal contracting dollars, are awarded to these small disadvantaged businesses. But you do, again, have to be registered with the SBA. So I'm going to give you guys, it's sba.gov is the website. And also, you guys should have received a notebook from Vartui. And in the notebook, there's going to be these pages. There's going to be a lot of information in there that you can go and do research on yourself, as this is a very brief overview of what it is and how it can relate to your business. But you want to go and take a look on how to do that. Thank you guys for putting the notebook in there, and Tatiana placed the website for you. So sba.gov. So by being registered, you are getting, there's 50 billion attached to these certifications. The next one. And then you have women-owned small business federal contracting program, which this offers limited competition for certain contracts, meaning that government or big corporations will put money aside specifically to only work with women-owned businesses. However, you do have to be certified. So there is, again, you can get information from SBA, but there's different kinds of websites that you can check, like the MBE. And in your notebook, there should be those links. But this is something where you have to be women-owned. And if you're married and you do business with your husband, it has to be owned by the woman 51%. So women-owned by 51% or 100% would qualify you for the certification of women-owned. Here's a little tip that I've learned along the way, though. If you've gone into business with your husband and now you realize, oh my gosh, I can get contracts, let me change the ownership, they're going to go back and look. So it has to be owned from either conception or at least over a year ago. So just be mindful of that. If you guys are in the process of starting a business and you're thinking, well, I want to start this janitorial business because I want to get contracts, and you're going in on with your husband, know from the beginning, it has to be owned 51% from the start. Or at least make the change a couple years before trying to go after those contracts. Okay, Tatiana? And then we have veteran contracting assistance program. So if you're a military veteran who registers your business with the federal government, you're eligible for certain contracts, opportunities that come specifically for veteran owned. Go ahead. Same with business development programs, 8A. But again, these are something that we don't see a whole lot of. And just so you guys know, this is an overview of all the programs that they have, but your specific program may fit into one or multiple. That's why I say go back to sba.gov, do research on your own, and see where your business fully qualifies in that. And then we have, again, the hub zone, which, again, to qualify, your business has to be in a specific location and you have to have a certain amount of employees. So you want to make sure that you fit those criterias. And then we have the SBA Mentor Protege Program, which offers opportunities for small businesses to partner with more experienced businesses. So this is a hot topic these days because a lot of people are learning about supplier diversity and government contracting, or even city, county. There's very local ones as well. If your business wants to do that, but maybe you're not in a position to be in the first primary contractor who wins that big contract for a construction of like $1 million or 2 million, and you know that you can get there, then you can come under a prime and be like a subprime contractor, where you get to benefit from that prime #1 win contractor, but you get to learn and then take baby steps into it, because it's okay to not be fully ready to be in #1 position, but as long as you understand what you're working for and you can see the way that it works when a prime gets it, it's going to put you in a better position when you're ready to actually be that prime contractor. All right, so the SBA does offer a wealth of resources, including management and technical assistance programs. They have lender match, they have small business investment companies, disaster assistance, grant programs, and they even have a lot of learning resources. So if you guys remember the COVID days, the SBA gave out a lot of loans, and particularly the EIDL. So they are really about businesses. They're a great organization. They have a lot of information, and we do partner with them. Go ahead, Tatiana. All right, so local supplier diversity programs. So they have state, regional, county, and city that all run their own supplier diversity programs. Some require certifications, most will. I'll give you an example as I'm learning a lot about this deeper and deeper as we have a lot of events coming up. If you are somebody that can have contracts with Southern California Edison or the gas company or water company, those businesses require a certain type of certification. And in the county where I'm at, and I'm sure it goes further out, but SBA and all the links that are in your notebook will give you all that information. But they require a supplier clearinghouse certification. So in order to get a contract with the local water company here in San Gabriel Valley, where I am located, you have to have a supplier clearinghouse certification. Now, I can call my local city that I'm in Pasadena and say, hey, I am a contractor. I want to know how much you guys can authorize this contract that is coming out. And maybe I get a smaller local contract, but I do have to have my certification. So just know that the program for supplier diversity, it starts small and it goes big. And there's space for each one of you if you are in the position to go out there and look for those contracts. And as I said, PACE offers coaching on that. And so do we at Chase. We have that 4-month coaching program where we can really walk you through what does it look like? Does your business even qualify, or is it the right time to go and ask for these contracts? Next one. All right, so what are the benefits of government contracts, right? Well, governments typically pay in full and on time, so you have steady revenue. You also show that you can work with large, complex organizations, so your business is getting the credibility that it needs from working with big government contracts. Also, performing well with one government client can open up opportunities with other government agencies or offices, so growth opportunity. If somebody's working with you and you do a good job, and now everybody in certain positions talk to everybody, right? I am a business consultant. I have friends who are business consultants. I have peers who are business consultants. There are things that I will say, hey, I'm looking for this. Do you know a web developer? And my peer will give me one. Same thing in this opportunity. If they worked with the company and they did a really good job, and now they're talking to another company who has the same work or needs something done, they can refer. So understanding relationships, reputation, when you go out and get these, this is why I'm stressing you have to be prepared and ready to take these on, because it can take your business to a whole nother level. And then maintaining business operations, access to corporation-specific supplier diversity programs. Again, money that is set aside specifically for small businesses or women-owned business or veteran-owned businesses that nobody else can get unless they have the certification. So it's putting you in a very small window of opportunity. And then again, it gives you access to larger markets. So there's a lot of benefits when it comes to government contracts. So how do we access corporate supplier diversity programs? So corporate supplier diversity programs, there's 5 major certifications that corporate supplier diversity programs typically recognize. And these are ones that are more federal, meaning they go larger, right? But as I mentioned, something like the Supplier Clearinghouse or maybe Department of General Services, those are more local. So these are the bigger ones that are recognized. If you have these ones, it's almost like you're in anywhere. So you have Minority Business Enterprise, the MBE. I talked about the Women MBE, which is the Women's Business Enterprise National Council. So you also have the WMBE, which is Women Minority Business Enterprise, and it's not on there. You also have the LGBTBE, which is the Business Enterprise, Disability-Owned Business Enterprise, and then Veteran-Owned. So these are the top 5 that are a lot more paperwork to get applied and get approved. But when you have them, they take you very far. So these are the ones, if you fit in any of those categories, that you should definitely work towards getting. But don't be discouraged. As I mentioned, there are a couple of other ones that are more local, like Department of General Services. You have the SBA Small Business Certification, and in your notebook, it will give you links and information on all of that. Or you can join our Coaching for Impact program, and I can walk you through all of that. But definitely there is an option for any business out there. And then supplier diversity certifications, I'll go with the next one, sorry. So what are the benefits of certifying? So business opportunities, you show up in a national database when you get your certification. And also, if you put your business into the database, they will send you emails periodically when a contract or a request for proposal, which is called an RFP, comes up. You will get an email saying, hey, your business fits these qualifications. And how will they know that your business fits those qualifications? Because when you're applying for your certifications, you're going to be putting your NAICS codes in those sections. And if anybody doesn't know what a NAICS code is, it's the NAICS code, which basically is the national number for your business that lets government or local suppliers know your business type. So what type of business you are, whether it's HVAC or graphic design or whatever it is, your NAICS code tells your business type. And so they partner with that and see when there's a proposal or a bid, they will send emails out to you. And then you also get access to corporation-specific supplier diversity programs. So as I mentioned before, some large corporations have supplier diversity targets and only consider working with certified businesses. So you're in a smaller pool. And then you have access to revenue. So certifications can help improve your chances of getting a loan or finding investors. Sometimes an investor, if they see you've done the work of getting certified, they'll want to invest into that, especially because they know that you can go and get big contracts, right? It's a win for them. And then business growth. Certifications, organizations often provide education and training and a lot of networking events, just as you guys are here today on a Friday afternoon educating yourself. We have networking events in person. We do these pretty often. I know Pace did one a couple weeks ago. So you get invited to a lot of these educational seminars and workshops to learn more about how to make your business successful. All right, so smaller companies may run supplier diversity programs that do not require certifications. As I mentioned again, sometimes big corporations will have a job and they will want to give it to a small business. Even if you're not certified, they may still do that. We have at Chase a buy local program. So when you join the Coaching for Impact program and you become an alumni of the program and you have a product that maybe would service us, I can add you in our buy local program, and you don't necessarily have to be certified. It is a plus, but it's something that we do. So we are a corporation that will give contracts to businesses that are not necessarily certified. They are out there. You just have to look for them. But just know that it is an option as well if the certification process is something that you're just not interested in doing. All right, next. So working towards the certification, that's always the fun part, right? So as you think about how your business can grow sustainably, consider these tips. So improve efficiency and reliability. So invest in systems that improve your efficiency, and also software or machinery, or simply fine-tune your processes that you have now to minimize any wasted resources. When you guys get a contract, sometimes the states, sometimes the government, they're paying net 60. I think that's the longest I've heard, maybe net 90, but maybe it's net 30, net 60. You have to make sure that you guys are in a position to be able to do the work and still sustain your company while waiting for your payments. But when you get the opportunities, like they're huge, they're amazing, and they can take your business to the next level. That's why, again, I stress making sure you have your foundation solid and all your paperwork and business in order. And then use credit strategically. You guys, business owners, when you get a business, you are building business credit. You take care of your business credit just like you do your personal credit, because it will follow your business. These are how opportunities will come to you. So credit can help you make smart investments that can lead to growth. Again, credits, lines of credits, business credit cards. If you have a contract and you need to front, you don't want to use cash on hand. That's a whole nother topic. I think we're doing a navigating cash flow in a couple of weeks with Pace. You might want to join that workshop. But credit, having that cash flow available when these opportunities come, is going to be imperative to your growth. And then look for mentors and support. It's okay to ask for help. A shoemaker starts a business because he knows how to make a shoe. He doesn't necessarily know how to run the business. There are people out there that do this. There's a lot of programs that do it at no cost. You are sitting with two right now when it comes to Coaching for Impact and Pace. So go out there and look for the support and get the mentorship to help you get prepared and be successful when it comes to getting these certifications and the contracts. All right, so how to prepare for certification? Again, produce your comprehensible financials. So paperwork, financials. And we say that a lot. It is critical part of your certification. They are going to ask for your P&Ls. They're going to ask for your financials. Are you guys keeping up with that today? As a business, is your bookkeeping being done monthly? Are you getting that reconciled? Are you filing your taxes on time? They're going to ask. So your financials should generally be accepted with your accounting. So work with an accountant who can help you with cash flow issues or a coach. Make sure your taxes are up to date. Make sure you're in compliance if you're an LLC or an S Corp. So many times I'm coaching businesses and I see that they have a statement of information that is outstanding for the last 2 years, and it's such a small thing to do. But again, when you are getting prepared for these, you've got to make sure all of your compliance and your paperwork is in order. And then be prepared to explain difficult periods. We all go through them. We had COVID, but what is the reason? You're telling a timeline. If you're a corporation, those should be in your annual minutes. Those should all be up to date. And then do a practice site tour. Some certifications will require somebody to come out and check your facility. Practice with your team. Take a look and see how things are set up, who's in what. Is your business in a way where it's going to be profitable? It's all in your business plan. It's all in your space. And then again, be in control and then follow up. So when you're filling out the certifications, or if you're working with a mentor and they kind of fall by the wayside because I'm sure they're working with a lot of people, or maybe the application process is taking longer, then do follow up. All right, so capability statements. I talked about this a little bit earlier, but what it is it is a concise document that highlights a company's key strengths and qualifications to potential clients, particularly in the government contracting space. As I mentioned, I've been attending a lot of events where it is about supplier diversity, and there's a lot of business owners that attend these events because they are networking with the buyers from some of these companies. When a business owner is there, they have a business card and they have a capability statement. And I cannot stress enough, as you guys are going out there and looking for contracts, if you are emailing people, if you are trying to build relationships with somebody who you know is a buyer, you are going to want to have a capability statement. Do not get cute and do a 2-page or something in the front, something in the back. It should be a 1-page. Having it colors, having pictures is good, but don't over bombard it. You want it to have it concise. Again, you want to have your NICS codes, who you've worked for, and you can put the logos of their businesses. It should be very easy to see when I look at your capability statement, what your business is capable of doing, right? It's that simple. It's in the sentence. But if you want help, if you need help, again, you have PACE and you have us with the Coaching for Impact program. We can walk you through what that looks like. So that is very important that you have your capability statement done. That is a non-negotiable. All right, next one. So request for proposals. This is what I talked about, RFPs. So what it is it is a formal way for an organization to communicate what they need to vendors, right? So when a company is looking to fulfill a contract, they will post an RFP. So it's kind of like a job application. Now, here's the thing though. You have to understand, and I love that we have do's and don'ts, right? So understand the requirements, and they are very specific. So if there's an RFP and it says to submit it on a pink paper, you guys better submit it on a pink paper, because if it comes in and it's on a white piece of paper, it's not being looked at. Follow instructions. It is very important that you do that. You highlight your strengths, you provide detailed information, and you can even ask questions. I think that's a great thing because it shows that you're just as much as wanting the job, you want to make sure the job fits for you as well. Don't ignore RFP guidelines. Don't wing it. I'm an Aries. I'm a winger. It's taken me many years to learn how to not to wing it because it is important, especially in business. Do not submit late. If there is a deadline, get it before the deadline. Overpromise. Don't do that. You guys, if you overpromise and you win the contract and it does not come out to what they were expecting, you will not get another opportunity for a contract. Do not be vague. Be very concise. That's the word of the day, concise. And then don't neglect proofreading it. Prepare it, go over it once, go over it twice, go over it 3 times. Sometimes I have seen RFPs that are longer than 30 pages. So you have to take your time with them, look them over, and make sure you are following those instructions. These are very important. There are organizations out there that will help you on how to prepare an RFP. I cannot say 100% if PACE is one of them, but I know there's a company called AMPAC that has an accelerator program that will teach you how to do these. I do not teach them in the Coaching for Impact program, but I will tell you that you need it, and I will tell you the importance of it. But there are organizations, just like I mentioned with the SBA, that will give you the hand-holding, the step-by-step, teaching you on how to do these, because these are going to be important moving forward. All right, now, resources for a growing business. In your notebook, there are resources and links to organizations that can assist you in taking your next steps. Or you can contact me after this through the Survey with Tatiana and go through the Coaching for Impact program, or you can contact Vartui and Pace and see what they have in this respect as well. All right, so making the most of your certification. So once you're in, take full advantage of the opportunities, guys. As I said, networking is important. So as you get certified, you guys will become pro networkers. If you are not out there networking now, you are leaving money on the table. So attend events, check regularly for posted opportunities when you guys do get certifications, and you do have your information in those systems like Ramp LA, SBA.gov, DGS, which is the Department of General Services. You will be getting emails. So make sure that you're checking for them, going online, or if you get an email, check to see if you fit within that, and then complete the process. Complete your profile online. Consider additional certifications. You can have more than one. So if I'm a women-owned business, I can have that. I am a Latina, proud Mexican here. So I would also get my minority women-owned certification. I would be a small business. Maybe I'll go for my DGS as well. I can have as many as I want. If I have a business that works when it comes to water companies, I'll go get my supplier clearinghouse certification as well. So just know that you don't have to stick to one. You have options. And then apply to individual supplier diversity programs. So corporations, maybe your local city, the LAUSD, I'm in Los Angeles, but your local school district, maybe there's programs that they have that will work with businesses. Check into that. And then again, don't be afraid to ask for advice. It's taken me a long time to pick up all of this knowledge. I don't expect you guys to all know it after 1 or 2 workshops. It is a lot of information and there's so many things out there. So ask. All right. Next. All right. As I mentioned, network like a pro. So know who you want to talk to. If I was in a construction company, and if you guys are any constructions, general contractors on the line, one of the companies that I would want to know is Turner Construction, right? They do a lot of contracting. They also have a program where they will teach you how to go in and do estimates and contracts and all of these amazing things. Again, you have to know where these things are. And if you're out there networking, you're going to most likely run into these people and meet them. How did I meet them? By networking. Also, be a good listener. I love this saying, God gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth, so we can listen more than we talk. So be a good listener. Know your story. You guys all have a story. If you're a business owner, you started your business for a reason, right? Your story means something. It's authentic to you. It's unique. Use it. When you start meeting people, they're going to fall in love with you before they fall in love with your business. So be open. Share your story, especially if it's a good one behind your business. Be aware of your online presence. Have an online presence, guys. What does your digital presence look like? People want to be able to find you. If there's no website, there's really no business. I mean, nowadays, that is your stamp. That is your verified. It starts with a good website. So take a check of what you guys have as far as digital presence and make sure that you enhance it, or that it's something that you want to be able to say, this is my business, it fits my brand, it's who we are. And then again, don't be afraid to ask for advice. Thank people for their time. This is something that nobody has to do when you're out networking or when they're putting these events together. They are doing this because they understand that business owners need it. And there's not a lot of information that business owners are getting unless they are hearing about it or joining certain programs. So thank people for what they're doing. And then make a plan for your next conversation. Do your own research. There is no excuses today. We have AI, we have chat. What is it, Gemini? There's all kinds of things. So if you don't know how to have a conversation or questions to ask, put it in the chat, put it in your AI bot and find out, what can I talk about? What questions can I ask? Or how do I understand this? There's many ways. Or talk to a coach like me. Next slide. All right, so I ran through that. I tried to slow it down with my fast Aries self, but if you guys have any questions, now is your time to ask them. You can put it in the chat. I don't know if you have the ability to come off mute, but whatever it is, now's the time to do that. And then while you are putting any questions you have in the chat, I'm going to have Tatiana put up the next slide, which is my QR code. If each one of you can take your phone and snap that QR code, my name is Lucy Cesenia, and I am out of the Los Angeles area. So if you can please just give me your 30-second rating of how this workshop was for you. And then after that, Tatiana will put hers up. And then, yeah, so thank you. Bartui?
Thank you so much, Lucy. It's incredible. Lots of information. And, I think there's a lot to catch up, with the information you provided. There are questions here. There is one question. It's about the SBA Mentor Protege program fee. They asked if it's free, and he mentioned that I'm a newbie in the government contract industry. So I know the program itself is free, but there are certain requirements as far as I know. So would you please just share some more information about the program and how it works?
Yeah, so again, because I'm with Chase, I can't speak too much about how the program works, but SBA does offer a protege program where they do have resources. As far as I don't believe that they cost, but you can't quote me. You'll have to check at sba.gov and see what they offer, but they do have them where you can go ahead and find out who won certain contracts and then contact them and then maybe work under them or get them to teach you how to do it. So definitely check out sba.gov and then just search protege and then see what they do. But I can't really speak on what their fees are or how they run it.
Thank you. We don't have much there was another question which I tried to address the question. It was about with SBA on hold with approving certification, how does that impact timing if we are trying to get government contracts and hoping to also use those certification to gain opportunities? And my answer is while we are waiting for that part, it doesn't mean that we have to wait and don't work. There are a lot that we can do in the same time, and we can stay active, competitive, participate in the contracts. And if we get the certificates better, we are in a stronger position. But until then, stay active, do the part of the job you have to do. If you need to make sure that the federal government, you are registered with sam.gov, with other local agencies, make sure that you are registered with them and actively, participate for the subcontracting opportunities. So connect with prime contractors and continue to build the experience and your performance. So this is what I try to in my writing. If you want to add anything on that, Lucy, please go ahead.
Yeah, well, I don't know that they're on hold. I think it may be taking a little longer, but even if they were, as I mentioned before, there's so many other certifications that you guys can go get, like Department of General Services. And that one it takes 45 minutes. It's super quick, easy, and it's no cost. It doesn't cost to get certified as a small business owner. The other thing I mentioned is that there are big corporations that will still give contracts to businesses and you don't have to be certified. So never let that stop you. I always say it's never a N-O. It's not no. It's just you don't know, and it's K-N-O-W. So get in the know. Figure out where there's companies. You can, again, Google that information. When you have Chat GPT or Claude or Gemini, they also can do the research on what companies are doing these programs where you don't necessarily have to be certified. So don't let that deter you. All right, I did see a question. Alicia from Eco Logistics Station. Is this program in another city? What program are you talking about? You mean the PACE or just supplier diversity? If you're talking about supplier diversity, it's everywhere. It's nationwide in every state across the nation. And then every city, every county, every yeah, it's all over. So if that's what you're referring to, yes, there are certifications that you can get to go everywhere. As far as programs like PACE, I'll let you answer that. As far as programs like Coaching for Impact, we are all over the nation as well. We have 100 and I think we're at 86, 180 something coaches that are across the nation. So if you have a business in another state, this QR code on the screen right now, click that. Let us know what you're interested in, and Tatiana can guide you to a person that is in your area. So Alicia, this might be a great QR code for you. As far as PACE, Vartui, do you want to answer that?
Yes, thank you, Lucy. With PACE, as far as if it is in the state of California, we can work with the client. So our focus is Southern California, but again, as far as the client is inside the state of California, we will try to support them. So if you are in the California and they're like, if you're not in the Southern California, but other part, still you can connect with us and we will do our best to support you. And another part, if anyone wants to ask a question, you can raise your hand and I can unmute you. You can ask your questions if there's any. I forgot to mention this.
Talk to me, guys. Kristen is raising her hand.
Yes.
Spell that.
Let me see. Oh, no. Okay. Okay, you can ask your question. You're on mute.
Hi. I have a question with regards to certification. When you're getting certified, do you have to get certified? Like, say, for instance, my business is in California, but let's say I want to do something in Atlanta or Ohio. Do I also have to be certified there, or do my certifications run across the state?
That's a good question, and it varies. So, for instance, as a woman minority enterprise, that is
Mm-hmm.
federal. So it goes pretty much across the nation. So if you're in California, your business is in California, but there's work that you can do out there, that one would cross over. There's a couple others, like I believe Department of General Services is statewide. So there
Okay.
are some where you have to stay within your state. And then there's the bigger ones, which you saw the 5 there, veteran,
Right.
minority. Those are bigger and it's a little bit more tedious getting approved for those, but those will take you across the nation.
Okay. Well, also with that being said, again, just using that as an example, California business, and say I want to do a contract or something in Atlanta or wherever, do I have to register with the state there to do business, or can I still do it and then just get like a subcontractor?
Great question. And you're talking to the right person to answer that. Let me tell you.
Oh,
Okay.
good.
This is how it works. Okay. So, if you have a business that is registered in California, like an LLC, but you want to go
Hmm.
do business in Atlanta, you have to get
Hmm.
permission to do business in Atlanta. So what you're going to
Okay.
want to do is set up your domestic entity that's set up in California and set it up as a foreign entity in Georgia to be able to cross business. Now, if you're like an e-commerce, something like that, maybe it doesn't qualify. But if you're actually going and getting contracts with the state, city, or any government, they're going to want to see your foreign paperwork, which is basically giving your California corp permission to do business in another state. Now, when you do that, you're still with one tax ID number. So it's not like you're starting a new business. You're just
Hmm.
allowing your California business to now do business in another state.
Okay, great. Okay, I hate this is kind of snowballs with that. But let's say, for instance, I am the prime and I get a contractor that's in I don't know why I keep saying Atlanta, but Atlanta. And I get a subcontractor there. Do I still have to do that as well? Do I still have to have my business as a foreign entity, or can I just use their business as the business that's there?
So that's a great question. And now you're really going down the hole. So I think you and I go ahead and
Have
click.
a conversation?
Yeah. Go ahead and click that first link and then let's get together and have a conversation.
Okay. So
And
I see Tatiana's link. I don't see, are
that's
you guys
fine.
all under the same link?
No, you can do her link actually, and then just
Okay.
request to speak with me and she'll get it over to me.
Okay, great. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Yeah, for everybody that's joining us, hi everyone, I'm Tatiana Roberts. If you want to connect with Lucy to get that mentorship, please press other and then please put mentorship or coaching, and then that way I can get you connected with Lucy directly.
And you guys are all with Chase? Well, except for Vittoria, you're with Pace.
Yes, correct.
Yes, I am with
Okay.
Pace, and Tatiana and Lucy, they are with Chase.
Okay, great. Thank you guys so much.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you.
I see Noel has a question.
Yes.
Yes, darn it. And now I just finished my survey and I'm really interested in the mentoring as well.
You're good. You're good. I'll
Um,
take note of that. Don't worry. I'll take care of
oh,
you.
okay, fantastic. So hi, thank you so much for your amazing presentation. This was brilliant. I'm very new to the government contracting world as far as being actively participating in. I'm making the switch from freelancing, of course, as like a sole proprietor into getting to LLC. I already have all of that set up. And my question is because I'm starting off so new, is that a deterrent from other and more established entities wanting to work with me? Because I have the experience. It's just that I'm brand new to government contracting and I'm trying to make sure that I still look as professional as possible, that I can still do the work. It's just now I'm more established as a business.
So again, great question. And I think that no, to answer your question, no, you can be a business that just started today and go get a small business certification. It's going to go now into, Noel, are you prepared? And is your foundation strong enough to take on a proposal or a contract, right? Because if you get that and your business is not prepared, then you're going to look bad to the person who gave you that opportunity. And that's what you don't want to happen. So that's why it is important. I love that you said, I want to take advantage of the coaching, because that's where you and I would be able to say, okay, well, what are you looking for? What is going to be needed? Is there going to be revenue, cash flow? Like we go deep into what does the business need to be able to even carry that weight? So no, but if you're prepared properly, you don't have to worry about that anyway. But that's a conversation we can have deeper one-on-one.
Okay, period. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. So I have a question here. Alexa said that Supplier Clearinghouse was mentioned a few times. So what I was talking about Supplier Clearinghouses in my county, and I don't know if it goes beyond that, but in LA County, most companies like Southern California Edison, what's the other one? The gas company, water companies, they will require a Supplier Clearinghouse certification. That is for utilities. So electrical, but if they're working with the state on like the gas company, water company, those types, those are certifications that they require. So as I mentioned, other corporations have their own programs. This is just one that I run into a lot because I do have a lot of general contractors or HVAC and like traffic controllers, and that need to have those certifications to work with their dream corporations. So that's what I mean by that, Alexa. You're welcome. All right, Tatiana, if you want to close this out, I don't know if anybody has any other questions, but I want to thank you guys again for spending your Friday afternoon with me. You could have been anywhere else. You could have been starting your weekend, but you're here educating yourself. So thank you guys. And yes, I'll let Tatiana close this out.
Yes, thank you so much, Lucy, and thank you to everyone who attended today's workshop. Lucy comes with just so much information, very knowledgeable, and so does Virtui. So please get connected. We can definitely share some of the upcoming events if you're local to Los Angeles, and if you're not, like I mentioned, we can also get you connected to the right folks in your city or in your state. So please go ahead and fill out this survey. Hopefully all of you did, and you should expect an email within the next, I would say, 48 hours. So thank you so much for being here. And of course, we're an added resource to you with anything that you need. And I hope all of you have a great weekend.
Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you. And hope everyone will have a great rest of the day and great weekend. Thank you.